Alright. Welcome and good evening, everyone. I am playing my match versus Mori tonight, so let me just fix my camera position a little bit. Where is a good place to put me? Maybe just over here. That's not bad. I think we can. Oops, sorry. I think we can put me just over here in the corner. Alright, that looks acceptable. And I think we're good to go. Alright, let's have a go. Playtime. Cool, thanks Jay. Can you confirm you can hear me, by the way? I'll actually maybe just listen to myself quickly for 1 second. Alright, go live. And I think we're good to go. I can hear myself. Alright, fantastic news. Okay, because this is a match though, I won't be able to see who is watching, I won't be able to talk to anyone, I'm just going to be talking to myself. So let's have a go. I think I'm ready. Thanks Transu. So you guys enjoy. I won't be over here looking at anything, so if there is a problem, too bad. I have to try and play a game here. Okay, all good. Shall we? Let's have a go. I've been watching so many round 5 games. Now I finally have to play my own. This is going to be a low tension game. I'm a little bit tired. Coming to the end of the holiday. So let's just chill out. Got my lo-fi in the background, which I still in my head think is lofi. Tell me why. Alright, and we're gonna go and I actually wanna go Zen mode. So let me just quickly put that on and see how it looks for you guys on the stream. Ah, that's okay. That's not too bad, right? We can deal with that layout. Hey Martin, thanks a lot. Thanks Tristram. Yeah, Mori is good. He's a good player. He's a little bit higher rated than me. I feel like we've played before. But anyway, we're gonna give it a go, so off we go. This is Zen mode, so you guys can't see the in-game chat anyway, but I'm not gonna be whispering, so you're not losing much. D4. Alright, so I've seen Mori's opening tree, and after about 5 minutes I gave up. I think he can prep for me, but I can't really prep for him. I'm not really sure what to expect. It could be a kid, it could be a QGD, it could be a Catalan, or a Catalan versus a kid. I'm not really sure. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead like this. Maybe we play a kid then after all. Looks like it. I'm just gonna go and fianchetto this light square bishop. And up here. And 1 second. Yeah, all good. Alright. I mean, pretty easy moves at the start, not much to think about. Just gotta respond to the wife quickly. Thanks. Alright. Well, we got, I mean, this is pretty standard kid stuff. Pun intended, I guess. I don't know, I think if you told people they have to learn an opening, do you tell people to learn the kid as the first opening in black? I mean, it's a little bit well, I don't know, is it system-y? Well, I don't. What's the difference between being like a system opening and being a passive opening? Because like, you can play the kid versus almost anything from white, right? But that's not because it's I don't know, the system way of thinking about things for me is a little bit unclear. I'm not sure if that's really kind of a way I would really phrase it. Okay, interesting, e5 directly. So there's a few thoughts here, but I think the main one is if you can kick a knight with d5, you kick a knight with d5. So the other option is just to play e4. So I can play e4 and then just let them take and I take back. Or I can play d5 and kick the knight. Yo, I'm actually a little bit cold over the heater. Does it work quick? Yeah, so if you can kick a knight at d5, d5 is normally good, because it means the knight's a little bit uncomfortable, and it can't, like, you don't give away the c5 square immediately, for instance. It's not like the knight just jumps into it. Oh, man. Do I want to have a closed or open position here? If I close this position, I have to play on the queen side a little bit. If I open up the position, so e4, then e4 is protected with my rook maybe. I'm a little bit unsure what to do here. Okay, no, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to push. I remember that there's some versions where eventually black goes for the F break, and you can come in with your rook here and even give it up, your knight, and give it up for the light square bishop, even by losing a pawn maybe. So we will go ahead with this. I think knight e7 is probably the only move really to be considered. This just gets your knight kicked again. You can go around to c5, but I don't know, that's a lot of moves. I can play here, defend the pawn that way. Obviously if my knight moves, my bishop is also defending. Flippin' hell, I'm freezing. Make this a little bit warmer. Here we go. Alright, yeah. Oh wow, okay, no, so they jump back. So I guess they are, I mean, this was maybe the slow way to do it, but they can just do it a different way. They can come to the square somewhere else. There's also versions of this where you play your pawn up, you protect it, you put your bishop on e3, and then when they land you actually take the knight. I think one of the games I covered yesterday actually did that. Okay, not much to think about. e4 for us. We just globe that center. And now black will reroute the knight after a little while. What else do I want to play? I probably want to get in h3 at some point, maybe to stop them from jumping here. Maybe that's a nice move to do before I put my bishop on e3. I could also obviously go bishop g5, trade it, or have it kicked. The sky's the limit. Oh my goodness, please warm the room quickly. I came upstairs to a different room and it is so cold. Okay, a5. It's either a4 or a3 or ignore it. I'm not sure which one. Obviously, long term, if I play a4 here, then black gets a nice potential square for their knight. So basically, if I go here, they can go knight a6, and both of these squares become available. So I don't know if that's really what I want to do. But yeah, this is not my forte. This is not my strongest situation. I could also just not move the pawn, but I think I'm supposed to move it. Do I care about giving these squares away? I mean, maybe not. Maybe I do. Here, what if I do this and then push immediately? I mean, if I do here and they jump out, they're covering the square though. I can jump here, maybe double up on it again. If I let them push it, how bad is it? What exactly is my plan here? If black doesn't go for the f5 break, then I have to also play on the queen side, I guess. Okay, I want to play h3 before bishop e3, I guess. I just have to decide if it's a4 a3. If I play a3, I guess it's just not that committal. Black can't push the pawn because it's gonna get taken on that square right now. They'll maybe put their knight there. Can't go in here though. I'm liking a3. I'm gonna go for that. I think this keeps a few more options open for me in terms of how the game might progress. After black gets knight c5 in, massive problem? Probably not massive problem. The light squares on the left side might become a little bit weak if they pick the bishop on d7. Not immensely. My knight is still doing its job as well. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's put that away. Can't have allegations flying around when we're playing a Lonewolf mod. I'll get mobbed. Yeah, but I'm not really sure how to play this. Mills Beast, if you watch this at any point in the future, we've discussed this opening. I've asked for some ideas in the past versus the King's Indian defense with the Catalan, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Still not sure. I really am very cold. I'm a little bit concerned here. I guess there's no reason to be too concerned though. There's no way they can really attack that pawn more than twice. They have to get their knight over there. I can always take it if I have to. Yeah, so I guess h3 is a move. Maybe I've given black something to think about as well. Sorry. Made my wife upset, so I gotta apologize. And go make it better. It's a little bit in the back of my head now. Gotta focus on the game, but got some other things to focus on as well. Okay, unless black throws a massive curveball at me, I think I at least know what my next few moves are. I like it when that happens, because I can just kind of play some moves. I don't have to think too long. We're just going to try and finish development. I doubt this is going to happen in the game, by the way. But in situations like this, where they push and you go back, maybe you go there, and then you put your queen here, so then you've got a battery like this against the h-pawn. Battery like this against the h-pawn, so black puts their king there to defend it. I always feel like there should be some way where like you can jump out and hit the king and then kind of like jump the knight elsewhere to like unveil the attack. Or if they take, maybe there's like a take back, but maybe then the bishop should go instead. Take, and like this, check, but I mean you're just down a piece for a pawn in those continuations, so it's not like it's especially good or anything. Oh my goodness, please. I should have brought a blanket up here. Oh my flippin' hell. Okay. Mori. Oh, I'm so... After all the streaming of other people's games, I want to like tab out and like chat with people in the chat. It's really fun when you're streaming and you get to chat to the other people who are watching. It's a lot of fun, right? You're not by yourself, you're enjoying it together. Alright, here comes the knight. It's gonna come here, it's gonna double attack this pawn. I can defend it with my queen, I can defend it in some other way. Should I just do that move immediately? No. I'm going to continue with my general plan. I'm going to play the h-pawn up myself first, so that I can play bishop e3 without it getting kicked by the knight. And bishop e3 does get in the way of rook e1, but I have queen over here, which defends the pawn and keeps everything nice and cozy and safe. Black does have the option to play a4, and they can jump in here, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. But I think there's a way to get around that. Although I'm unsure what that is now that I look at it. Dangerous. Well, actually, if they play 4 and I move up and they jump their knight in, I mean, I can just move my rook out of the way because it's opened up. So my rook can go anywhere here and be perfectly fine. If they jump their knight into d5 later on, well, I've actually then already got a bishop this way, so then I can take and win the pawn. Yeah, and if my knight moves, my bishop is always defending my e4 pawn. So this is like a giri in time. In Japanese, giri is like just in time, just. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's like just good enough, just in time. Almost not okay, but it was okay, kind of. Giri. And then the opposite of that was like, oh, close, but you didn't quite get it. It's like oshi, like close. Oshi. Why does oshi mean close? I guess just because of the meaning. It's like these connections you make with a language that you don't even think about when you're learning it. Alright, so they are going for this. They are looking to make a plan here. I think this is still okay for me though, so I'm going to go ahead with my situation. I have a threat is a strong word, but I mean I could, like I suggested earlier, actually take that knight on c5, double their c-pawns. In the game I watched yesterday, where that happened though, the situation was very different, and I think black had pawns like this, and their light square bishop. Oh, they had this pawn still, maybe? Was that the game with the light? No, they couldn't have, because then they wouldn't have been able to take like this. So maybe that was also just like a King's Indian defense. I don't actually remember now. Unsure, unclear. Alright, I think we are finally getting a bit of heat in the room. That's good. Good. Up on the clock. When I'm playing OTB, even online a bit, I'm always like, oh, I'm up on the clock a little bit. Nice, but I mean, it means nothing unless you get like way down. Okay, so this is the situation that I was talking about earlier, where black might break with their pawn here, and then I might jump my knight over into this spot here, but now they've got this knight as well. So, unsure. And if I take the knight, they just take back with their bishop. Big whoop. I can get a brief hit on their queen, but it means very little. They can just play f6 and I have to move away. Doesn't mean much. Then I move back, then they play the f5 move anyway, so I think, yeah, and I think also I don't jump my knight in ahead of the time, because then if they play here, then we just got nothing. Then nothing's happening. So maybe a rook over somewhere useful. If they're trying to break here, I probably want to leave this rook over there for now. So it means this rook either comes over to here, or here, or here. No other square really makes any sense. My knight jump to b5 doesn't actually have any teeth in it right now. Is there any way they can open up the queen side if I move my a rook away and then it becomes a problem? I think we're still okay. I think we're still doing okay. I can also play g4. It doesn't really clamp down on the square because I take, they take, I take. I'm defending the pawn, but my pawn structure around my king is absolute disaster. So let's not do that. not do that. Let's instead, what? So king h2, rook a e1, getting off the diagonal, getting out of reach of the knight. I mean, I guess for this position, or for this situation, then maybe a4 was the move earlier, but then I gave up this square, which made me very uncomfortable as well. At least I feel like giving up the b3 square. It's so far away from the rest of black's pieces that it doesn't really matter that much. I'm gonna go up, they play 5, I jump my knight, unveiling a defensive piece on my, if they push forward. If they push forward, what? I jump there, then I attack that knight. Then that knight can come in. It's pretty nice, although my bishop might be in trouble. Okay, so my thinking is, if I just put my king up already, they push, I come across. If they take, it's pretty clear, and obviously this is my main threat. Even if they take the pawn, I think it's still good for me because I get this square with my knight maybe later on. But anyway, in this situation, my king's over here. My thinking is if they push f4, and I jump in, they take, I take, I'm hitting this knight. If the knight comes this way, then I can take it. And actually this file opens up, so I'm going to do this. I'm not actually going to play king h2 yet. It's a bit of a waiting move because the pawn isn't really in trouble. But depending on the way this goes, the d file might open up. In which case, we would be super happy to have something there. Super, super happy. Happy, happy, happy. Alright. I mean, what's the chance they play knight b3 instead of f5 here? If they do... I do have knight b5, because if they push the c-pawn at any point, I can take once, opening up the d file where my rook is, and then I can take the pawn with a rook or a knight. So, okay, depending on how this goes, actually, man, I'm liking rook 81. I was a bit unsure where the rook should go, but rook e1, and the other rook can still go there if it's necessary, but maybe the e file isn't really the problem, because ideally I want to keep black's e5 pawn where it is. I want the dark square bishop to be stuck behind it as long as possible, forever. Never get out. Buried bishop, forget about it. Mori should not even remember they have a dark square bishop by the end of the game. Hopefully I still do that. What to do? I mean, f5 is the move, right? I guess black is also just figuring out how things might change. You know. On f5, do I take once with my e-pawn? Takes once with e-pawn and then jump the knight? Or do I leave it and jump the knight? If I take once, they take with the g-pawn, right? So the king opens up a tiny bit more. They don't have anything guarding h5. The h-pawn is a little bit more vulnerable. But I lose my presence on e4, and they take back and they gain a lot of space. So if they play here and I take like this, they would have, let's make this another color, they would have all of these squares covered with the pawns, ready to push one of them when they're ready to go. So probably pushing is not the way to go. I'm just not sure about what happens after f4. Actually, I think I do know actually, now that I'm looking at it. They push, I jump the knight. If they play f4, I mean they can't because they're going to drop the exchange, right? So they probably wouldn't do that. If they do, I take this knight, then I jump my knight in. They probably take back with their own knight, I take with my pawn. And then, oh no, but the pawn drops. Okay, I was thinking still the pawn might be protected from the light square bishop, but it's not. Nope. I mean, in that case, maybe what I should do is after f4 is I just play knight up anyway, and then I take it with the pawn when they take, and then they're threatening my dark square bishop, I'm threatening their knight. If they push the knight out of the way, yeah, here it comes. If they push the knight out of the way, then what? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I should be just jumping the knight. Pretty sure. Here. It's just this f4 move is a bit scary, and even f3, you know, like I can't take because it's protected by the rook. Although if I jump and they go here, then they have to take back. I take, hitting the knight. Almost certain this is the move, but maybe it's not the move when this is knight c5 is on the board. And I can take the knight, but they're going to take back with their knight. And they've got two defenders of this square anyway. If I jump and they push, I can get this move in first, but if they push, I could also just take. They probably take with their knight. And I don't want to take. I'd prefer them to take. This is the move I'm looking at here. I just don't know what to do after this. I can't take. I don't want this e5 pawn to move. I can liquidate, trade off. I can fall back, defending. That might be an okay move too. But obviously this knight's hanging, so I kind of have to. I have to drop it in first. You take, I take. So I'm kind of committing myself to this, aren't I? This move means nothing. It's pointless. I mean, they can just move, they can jump their knight back in, because now they've got the knight out of the way, they can jump it back very happy. Here, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I I don't know exactly how to continue, but I'm pretty sure this is the way I've played it. I think this is what I have to do. So I did look at this as well. So if they push and I take here and they decide to take the knight first, obviously my bishop can't go anywhere. So it has to run back here. That's not nice. And then I have to move my knight to get my bishop back. So it's basically done like a little twirly. Not a fan of that. So I think the knight has to jump in one way or another. So I'm basically getting ready to sack a pawn. And hope that it's not a terrible idea. Yeah, but in a lot of these versions they actually... So if they push and I jump and they take, I take, maybe they jump their knight here, right? Then my bishop is under attack, I move it out of the way, and then they do get f3 in. That can't be good. That's definitely not the right situation, right? Maybe I can attack it from the side with a rook and my queen if I have to. Yeah. This is going to open up, so I'm going to put a knight here, I guess. If they take, and I take with a c-pawn, I guess. I'm trying to contain their dark square bishop a little bit like this. Open up a queenside situation maybe. So maybe my rook comes back this way then. Did I... maybe black is just surprised that I'm sacking a pawn. Whoa, hang on, what's he doing? So we'll see. The King's Indian Defense. I used to play the QGD a lot, so into the King's Indian Defense. I think I said this last night on the stream as well. I played the same-ish a bunch. Actually, the first tournament where I got my FIDE rating, I played the same-ish twice, and I lost twice with it. I did pretty okay in the tournament overall, but out of my losses, one of them was actually okay. My opponent made a dubious move, but I didn't know how to play against it. The first loss was just bad. I just had no idea what to do. So I've tried the McGonagall situation. I've tried the... Oh, they are going with f4. I've tried the... whatchamacallit? What's the one? The... I almost said the Alcatraz. It starts with an A. It's when you put your bishops like... Oh, sorry. It's when you put your bishops like this. Averbach. The Averbach, which is fun, but there's only one like easy trick at the start, and then you just kind of like got a game anyway. So eventually I decided if I'm going to play against the kid, I might as well just play structures, which I kind of play a lot, which is currently the Catalan. So, alright, I mean I can't win this pawn either way, right? I can take once and then take here, but then the dark square bishop opens up. Well, actually I can take once and then I can put my dark square bishop here as well. But, you know, my knight is currently disconnected, so tricky. Alright, so we're going for it. Here's the pawn sack situation. Alright, and black's like, what? I'm guessing they're not going to let me take the rook, right? So they're probably going to take with their knight. I'm going to take back. And they're probably going to jump their other knight out of the way. Not here, because then obviously I'm going to take. But here, over here, which also opens up the pawn to be recaptured. Although in this situation, if I retake the pawn, I can actually win it. So that's an interesting thing to think about now. Although then this pawn would be hanging. Oh no, then I would have to take back with my queen. Then they can put their bishop there. Oh man, okay, this is actually quite interesting. So check this. I expect them to knight jump to f6, opening up against this pawn. And then I was expecting I can either kind of like sack it, make their queen take it, and get a tempo against the queen, and then go from there. I can also win this pawn, obviously, right? So I don't think there's much value in it, but you know that's a potential idea. Oh, if you can hear that, Bartron got confused about. Then we just gotta check. Oh, my grandmother-in-law is 92 years old. So in the world, there's like these areas they call blue zones. I think one's in like Greece or somewhere, I forget, or like I don't know, the Mediterranean somewhere, and one's in where else? I forgot now. Um, oh, interesting. Okay, so they took here. So this pawn's gonna get isolated, which is no fun. Okay, well they take a piece, so I mean I have to take a piece back. This is not the way I expected the situation to shuffle out. So I can take back here, I can take back here. I can also play f3 maybe. This comes with check obviously, right? But don't know. Here you take, I take. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I still have control of all of these squares. No, not this one, sorry. I have control of these squares. My knight can come in here. Take, double up. Okay, they do go for the check. Oh shit, sorry. They do go for the check first. I do think I'm going to take with the rook, but that was... I didn't mean to immediately play it. That's a bit quick. I think there isn't really any reason not to. I think we just have to accept we're the pawn down, which we originally thought we might be, and play from there. They can trade the rooks though. My queen on the dark diagonal isn't exactly something exciting. I'm not, you know, that doesn't help me in any way. Leaving the pawn there also means absolutely nothing. I think I just have to go into this situation down a pawn with an isolated pawn. This one's going to be a bit weak maybe. If the queen comes over, I can do this at least. Yeah. Okay. Here, and we'll take back this way. If they don't take, we're going to double. Oh, actually, well, we can take and then get the tempo like this as well, which might be nice. Or we can double up and then just take back this way. But I expect they would take actually. So I'm expecting now my queen is going to run over to f2. f2. And this pawn is unfortunately a bit weak. I can do this, they can play here. In that situation, this square becomes weak, so I might have a way to get a tempo on this rook. And then I don't know. This actually, if I get a tempo on the rook, then I can take here as well. Although if it comes here, my knight would be... I don't know, man, the queen would be here, so actually not too bad. Huh. There's some play over here. Oh, my tea is done. Anyway, oh, I get so sidetracked. I guess it's because I'm playing chess, I have to focus. There are blue zones in the world. It's not something I know too much about. I know Japan is one of them. Basically, it's really healthy. It's like an ideal place to have a long, healthy life or something like that. My grandmother-in-law is 92 years old. Still cruising around. Only like, I think, 3 years ago, we decided she should maybe give in her driving license. It was getting a little bit much maybe, but I'm just amazed at how healthy she still is. It's really great. Yeah, Black's just trying to figure out Should they attack the pawn? Should they... If the queen comes here, it doesn't actually add anything that I need to worry about just yet. This pawn, I can come here, it can't be attacked. This bishop's kind of still out of the game a bit, which is my only saving grace. If they play here, I can take here. Of course, my king is very airy in this situation, but you still have to get in the attack, right? So could be okay. I don't think we're going to win the a4 pawn, but I think that also matters absolutely nothing. The a4 pawn is not going to make or break this game, or at least we're not at the stage where it's going to just yet. I'm a little bit surprised they're taking so long. I think this is an easy move, this is an easy move. This move, I don't think you take with your queen. There's no real need to put it on that diagonal. My bishop's guarding this pawn, so you're not going to sack your queen. So, I mean, it's this or this, basically. There's no more in-between moves. So black's just trying to figure out how they want to take back. If they take the rook, I take with the queen, and they put their queen... Well, they first have to take the other pawn, though. So, whatever they want to do, they have to take the other pawn first. And in that case, I get a knight jump out, which attacks their c-pawn. If they move the c-pawn, the d-pawn is weak. So maybe black is just trying to figure out how they can avoid creating weaknesses on their side of the board. Personally, I would have taken, if I was black, I would take the pawn. Not because it's the best move, but I think it feels the most natural. You finally develop your light square bishop, you take a pawn anyway. If they take your rook, you can take back with your queen, and then you can move your queen off the file to e7, and you can still move the other rook over if you need to. I'm not in any haste to take the a-pawn. I don't really think that's giving me much. I would like to win the c-pawn, or the d-pawn, or something in the center. I think that matters a little bit more. A little bit more valuable. There we go. Okay, so they do take. I'm gonna go ahead and take with my queen. I would have loved to get my queen on the light squares to get a little check here, but unfortunately that's not happening. I also have no real way. So I can go here to kind of threaten something, but it's not really a big threat, is it? I'm also not able to protect that square just yet. If I jump, then we trade, then my rook's there, but I've got nothing else left. So do I just put my knight out? Where do I need to find some way to kind of infiltrate a bit. I mean, this pressure is there for that, but it could also come help win the file. Well, it doesn't win the file for me at all. This move covers everything. Very easy for them to cover up. Should I maybe try and get my light square bishop a little bit more active? Don't really know if it matters. I don't want to trade it, that doesn't help. So now I'm second guessing if I should have taken EF before I played knight G5, because it opens up the light square bishop. Maybe I would have enjoyed this position more. Maybe I play C5, just trying to crush things open while I have the slightly more active pieces. There's not much under attack if I do. If you push the pawn, I take it. And obviously I'm threatening your D pawn because I'm attacking it twice. You move your queen up, I attack your queen, you have to go back. Then I can take. Oh yeah, okay, I'm liking this a lot. Not sure there's much more to think about here. I think this is a nice move. I'm the one with the slightly weaker pawns, but I can try and open things up. And yes, I'm opening it up against two light square bishops. But, oh, it's two light square bishops. What am I saying? Two bishops. But the dark square bishop isn't quite that active yet, since we've tried hard to keep the e5 pawn where it is. To be fair, my light square bishop isn't super active either. But maybe at the right moment we can make a play for a different diagonal. Here would obviously be great. I don't think that's really going to happen. I think this move for black just takes care of a lot of the squares that they need to, both on the king side and down here, queen side. Specifically these four squares. I could still jump. I think c5 was pretty great. I almost said crashing. It's not crashing, but I think it was a good move. If they try to trade queens, I probably take the pawn, take back with my king. They try to win a tempo with their rook, I just swing my king over. I still have control of all of these squares with pawns and pieces. So if my king's over here, it's taking care of this square as well. Well, they can probably go here as well, so I can put it on either one. Whichever one feels more appropriate. Yeah, actually, queen f8 here would be, I think, kind of like a bit of a concession. Well, I guess you could take back with your dark square bishop, right? Oh no, but then I don't take. I just do this. I just take this way first. And then I jump my knight in, and then I... So what I was thinking here... Sorry, whoops. Woo, hello. If I take... Obviously taking with the rook feels very natural, but if you want to stop exactly what I'm doing, you can also take with the bishop. And after I take, you can take back, and then your pawns are still kind of safe. But either way, I'll be able to get my knight in here, and some of these squares are bound to be slightly weak. So I might be able to get a nice fork, for instance, or maybe a fork this way. Maybe I can get a spoon, whatever move that is. I wouldn't quite call this hope chess, but it is another Japanese saying, tekito, which is kind of like without much deep thought, or kind of without thinking too much. I think that describes the way I'm playing fairly well. I'm not playing with an immense amount of thought here, I'm kind of just making some moves that feel natural. Here, black can't take. I think that would be pretty bad for them. Here, I'd also have my queen a bit closer to these squares, could fork to win a pawn, could double up against that light square bishop, so... If I was black... Oh, you don't have to play queen here, you can play queen here, right? I'm thinking if you're black, you just kind of want to like keep things safe. I see a version of this now. I just looked. There's a version of this where we trade everything off except the light square bishops. If they go like here, then I jump here threatening this, then they go here, then I bring my rook over. Then maybe they, I don't know, they take the pawn. You know, so I take here. Oh, but then I can't check. That doesn't work. Was this the check I was thinking about? Here, trade. Anyway, my general image was if these things come off the board, we're left with these guys. That's not ideal for me either, unfortunately. A little bit tricky. And in that case, I wouldn't play here because they'd have a constant way to break through. Unless my bishop stays here. I'd probably play this way and put my bishop over here. But we are not there yet. And that time advantage, although it's counting up, still means absolutely nothing. It only starts to mean something when we're like under, I don't say, under 10 minutes I think people start to notice when we're getting to the single digit minutes. And then obviously if you get closer to 1-2 minutes there's definite pressure, but over 10 I think people can still kind of take their time with it. Oh, my posture is going a little bit south nowadays. It's not doing too good. Okay. I don't want to, I mean, I'm not winning, yeah, I'm not winning, but yeah, c5 was great. I think black is also seeing that it can get a bit tricky. c5 was a pretty great move. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, and I don't really want to move my rook off of this. I think the part of the reason I was happy to play this is because I wanted the pressure down the d file. So I'm just thinking, if they play here for instance, maybe I jump my rook in, my knight in, what am I saying? And then if they take, I take back, and if they push here, I come with my king somewhere this way. I know that they can check me here, so I don't know, maybe this way. Anyway, and I could still play this over, but I kind of like this. This makes me feel like I might win a pawn back, and might even isolate some of their pawns, which could be good for me. Maybe they'll have to give up a light square bishop for my knight, and we would end up in a pretty symmetrically... I mean, there's a version of this. Hi. I just turned off my mic for a second. My mother-in-law just came to check what's happening. She just got back from work. And black is still thinking, could my move be that good? Maury, the longer you think, the better I think my move is. The longer you think, the better I think my move is. I mean, I still feel like this is a fine move. I don't know if there's exactly something I could do against that. I mean, I'm probably going to take and give you that weak backwards pawn. I can attack it with my knight on the left side, which may or may not be useful. If you push it past in that situation, it might not be useful. Because, well, actually not too bad, right? Because if I push, if I take, this is the pawn that I'm defending with my light square bishop. So maybe forcing them to play d5 at some point is good. Ah, interesting. Okay, they go the other way. I'm not 100% if this is the move I would have played. Because if I take now, they take back with their pawn, I jump my knight in. If they take it and I take with my pawn this way, I guess it's kind of the same position still though. They'll have this. So they've got 2v1 and they've got like hanging pawns and I've got an isolated pawn against it. I obviously would have loved it if they take, but they didn't take. I guess I wonder if they're planning to push, but I still wonder why they didn't just put it here. Maybe they're just trying to oppose bishops and trade it off eventually. So take, what if I push my queen over here? I'm double pressuring the pawn. And then I jump a knight in, and if you take it, I can take back with my queen, forking there. And I don't think there's too much to think about. I have to take. I am trying to build something, right? You can't double defend this except here. If you do that, I still jump my knight in, I think. No, you're not actually giving me any squares. They've got some good control here as well, right? They're also covering this square with their queen still, the rook. I mean, this is the only square I was really looking at because I thought maybe I'd have a move like this later on. So if I jump this here and they take, I have to take back with my pawn. But I kind of don't want to put my pawn here. My pawn, although it's, you know, this would not be bad. I think this pawn B here is better because it stops the backwards one from going in. So I'm thinking queen D2. Putting pressure on this backwards pawn. You have to defend it here. If you push, I mean, I've got a bajillion things defending it. So I'm going to take and push, and that might actually become a bit dangerous. I could get this jump in right now because the queen is pinned to the pawn, but only I can only do this jump with my knight, so with my queen, so that would be a terrible idea. Truly disastrous. That queen can't come anywhere I have to worry about. You can check me here, I guess. So if I come here and you check me, I'm defending this pawn. My king has to go somewhere. I guess back, because if I go forward you get another check here, and then this square is weak. Things are dangerous, and I don't want to put my queen over here or here. That would be suicide. So if I do move my queen over here and you check me, I have to just run away with the king, I guess. That's not what you want to do. So I go here, you go here, I move out, you move your rook over here, you're threatening to come in here. My queen's over here, so I'm only protecting that square once. I can attack your queen, but it doesn't actually matter. Oh, you are leaving the pawn undefended, so you put your rook there, I'm taking the pawn. And then you can put your queen in here, you can put your rook in here as well. But there's still only one attacker at a time. You can get your queen in here. Oh, yeah, you can get your queen in here. But again, only attacking one or two things at a time. I could get a check in. And what? A check and what? Oh, this is something I have to think about a little bit. So I'm thinking here, and then here, and then here, and then what if they bring their rook over? So then obviously these things are getting a bit weak. Specifically this square F2 is very weak at that point. I don't want to jump the knight in directly. I've already decided that's not what I want to do. Because if you take like this, I can't get at your backwards pawn. This one's defended. My bishop can only come up to here anyway. It's not good. So here, move out of the way. Rook can also defend here, but in that case I can jump to attack your queen. I've also got a check and a semi-fork here. My rook will be here still. Shit, I want to move my rook over there as well, maybe actually. Here, oh actually I could do this, because after you take here, and if you take with your queen, I can still go up here. And, oh no, I couldn't move here, okay. Less thinking, more doing. I think this is the move for me. It says do it. It says do it. I don't think I'm dropping anything. I don't think the F2 square is a massive problem. What I found now, which was nice, was I can actually still oppose, because if you take, I can take back with my bishop, because my pawn is still defended. Or if I push up, I can take with my queen. I'm blocking the light square bishop's view. So all around, feeling pretty good about it. And in that case, if you check me here with your queen, of my king's over here, my bishop can still cover up. But also, as I keep forgetting, my queen is still here in that case, so I can actually take sideways. So I don't have to take the d6 pawn immediately. I can, you know, jump some stuff around and things first. I could even transfer my rook over here first anyway, and then jump my knight to kind of eye these squares, get a check, do a thing, do a little dance. Do a little dance. Sure. So let's stretch. Work on the posture. Oh, guys, I'm gonna focus. Can anyone get me some more tea? I wonder if I can quickly jump down. I think I might actually quickly go to the toilet and get me some tea, just while I've got this time advantage, because it's slowly going to get a little bit harder. So allow me to quickly just go. Be right back text. Is that also? No, it's not saying be right back. It's saying be right back. And make that visible over my face. Okay, be right back. Empty. I should have changed the wording instead of be right back to like tea break. Oh, they do the check. Alright, but I've already calculated what I want to do here, so we're just going to go ahead. Let's do that. Alright, and that, my friends, is why you build up. Actually, while I was downstairs, I was thinking, if they put their rook here, I can actually just put my rook across immediately. Alright, I think I mentioned this just now, but I don't have to wait for them to come in. I can just oppose, take back, and in that case, all these squares are covered. And if they go here and I take, I wonder, what is that? Well, if they go there, do I take? That's a good question. Right now, if they go there... Oh damn, this is something I didn't consider. I didn't consider if they just put their queen right in front of me. Because I still need to... you know what I might do? You go here, I go here. And then if you take, I can take back. If you take there, I take this way. And if you don't take, then... No, but I don't want to take. I don't... If your queen's here, I don't specifically want to take. So I might actually just fork and take your light square bishop. It isolates this pawn, gives you 3 in the middle, and I've got 2 defending, so you've still got that middle advantage, but your dark square bishop is also still not quite in the game, which is very important. Highly important point. If only because that was the whole point of like how I played the opening. That was part of why I gave up the pawn. Incorrectly, probably. Probably I messed up the... Wait. Yeah, I was like, wait, did I unmute my microphone? My bad, I did. Yeah, keeping that dark square bishop behind the pawn chain has become kind of like a mini goal, but probably too much of a mini goal. I maybe should have chilled out a bit. I mean, now that the light square bishop is on this side, I could maybe also do this. Although currently the bishop is still serving a few purposes there in some of the lines. Getting this in also doesn't specifically do much. Not yet anyway. Alright. I wonder if black's considering this. This is the move I didn't actually see coming. This is double attacking here, but I don't know. So if you go here, I mean, I could run out the way. This is also defended, so I mean, maybe I win a tempo on your queen. You go here attacking my pawn. I attack your pawn, and if you take, I can check your king. But I don't really know if that's specifically winning or anything. One of your bishops will have to come back. Actually, this bishop will have to come back, right? Because this one wouldn't be in a position to do anything, so... I mean... I really want my light square bishop out, but yeah, black's queen sitting in my back rank area is kind of difficult to deal with if I'm not around to, you know, oppose with the queen. Looks like black is also slightly confused. What is white doing? What is going on? King h2, are you crazy? Tiny bit. Tiny bit. Just enough. Just enough. Alright. Oh, I have to remember. Transu, if you're in the chat, you are... I demand that you give a reaction to the chat. You can pick whatever you want to click on, and then you have to type which side you prefer right now. And you have to type the first one that comes to mind, right? You can change afterwards, but you have to at least type the first one so we can see the flip-flop going. Yeah, you have to be open with those comments. I wonder if black is worried about losing the d pawn too much. Like, I feel like if I was them, I wouldn't be too concerned about keeping it, because for me to take it is kind of a risky move. Actually, separate, not unrelated, separate situation. If we trade off the heavy pieces, does this change your evaluation? Because I have a knight and a bishop versus two bishops, right? But you know, I'm still stopping the extra pawn from coming forward. And actually with my light square bishop, or with my knight guarding the light square bishop, the other one can kind of run around a bit. Light square pawn, what am I saying? This can actually come around, do something else. Maybe I can come around and attack the additional pawn here. If they push it forward, that might not be fun for me. Then I might have to do this, and then I might have to cry about life. Never mind. Yeah, if we do trade off the heavy pieces, I would very much like to have these pawns up here and here, just to kind of shut out the dark square bishop. And then if need be, my king can come sit behind it somewhere here. I guess this would be the square they can't kick me, because they can kick me on the light diagonal. Yeah, just to keep them back. Just to keep them back. What to do, what to do. Oh, also, I shouldn't forget to mention, after the game is done, Maurice said he'll jump on the stream with me and we'll like review the game a little bit. I think I wrote that in the description of the stream, but these settings sometimes confuse me, so if I didn't, please know, this won't be just me. After the game is finished, he's gonna jump on with maybe his camera, but definitely with his microphone, and we're going to walk through the game a little bit and just kind of exchange some ideas, hear what the other guy was thinking. We'll do a short little post-mortem, and then we'll end the stream. Tonight it's only my game, and actually this will be the end of my kind of spree of streams that I've done in the last week. So next week we go back to work, Monday, so I will probably on weekends, maybe in the week, if there's a lot of games going, I might do a little bit of coverage. But I mean, this week it was, as they would say, like a yari hodai, like just do as much as you want kind of thing. Because I've really just been doing as much as I could as I wanted. Just constantly streaming non-stop. You know, I am concerned, as I'm talking, I am concerned about this. I'm looking at versions where, you know, like they take and I get the check and I win this pawn, but if their rook is over here and their queen's in here, that's really dangerous. And if we exchange the rooks and then I take this pawn, just as an example, you know, they can take this pawn. Things are a little bit dicey. A little bit dicey. Okay, they do go across. My thinking about going across was that I put rook f1 on the board, because even if we trade off, it's not a big loss for me. I can still come back. I'm still covering all these squares. This is covering the pawn while my bishop is moving. Yeah, because this is no good, you know, they just infiltrate and problems. So I don't think, is there any other move I want to look at while we're busy? I can obviously take this pawn now, like directly, right? And then they can infiltrate here, which is very scary. If I take and they infiltrate with their queen, I could actually just come straight back though. Well, not really, because eventually they're going to have their rook on this back end file. So what I'm thinking is I take, they come in, I come back, but then even if I take, obviously their rook comes in here and this pawn is weak. So to defend this pawn, I need my rook to be probably here, but then if I'm trading it off, I might as well just trade off now. So this is the move we're going with. Now my fanciness will actually just land me in hot water. I need to make sure they don't have a heavy piece kind of running free my back rank, especially because I've got king h2 on the board, which is looking a little bit silly, right? It's way out of the way. Alright, so they take, I have to take back. This squares, these squares are all taken care of. This square is not taken care of as such. I'm a little bit unsure if they, well, I don't know, if they come here and I take, I guess I'm jumping my knight in here then. Or do I like get the check in first with my bishop just to make it active, and then I jump my knight in? And my knight's not even like doing much on that square as such, but oh no, actually you don't really want to do that because you want to be able to reach the king with a check. Although I guess if I chase it away, it means it's so far away I can kind of move my king in maybe. How do I move my king in? Here, here. Right here, and I have to like try and run in? I can't. So I can't get my king in here unless black kind of falls asleep, because this is my only square to get in. And then they have to move their dark square bishop out, so my king's not getting in on the king side. So I need to be fighting on the other side of the board. Right, I've posed another problem to black. I traded off the dark squares, the rooks. So in this situation, I got a check here, which might be fun. It doesn't really do that much though. I've got a knight jump that I should consider. Actually, the knight jump might be best even, because the queen can't go back there either. So I can knight jump, and then I can check and take and take, and here, and they take, and everyone cries. Oh, they did do this move. Okay. Okay. There's a few things that I don't like about this, right? But the problem is basically, if I go here, or let's say I take and then I jump here, as soon as they push their pawn, they're also hitting my B pawn, and my A pawn is stuck on a dark square. So it's not going to be good for me if their queen gets in here. That's pretty bad. And currently they're also double attacking this, so I can like block them, I guess. Not that that matters too much. Well, I say that, but I'm still covering all of the squares here that matter. If I block them, I could jump here, hitting the queen, hitting the backwards pawn. Oh wait, what am I talking about? And then they trade, and then my bishop is stuck to my... Okay, I'm obviously going a little bit insane. My thinking was I do this, right? Like I take, and then I do this, but after they push, they just win all my pawns on this side of the board. It's not good. And it's difficult to keep these guys safe. So the other option would be to do this, and then here, and then this. If I do this though, they get this square here, which might be a little bit uncomfortable. Not immediately though. There's not actually anywhere that they can go that's that bad for me. I can take this way. Oh no, but they'll be on this bishop as well. Wow, all my ideas are actually complete trash right now. I do not like this move. I'm so unhappy they played it. If I move my queen, they can take here, right? If I block, sorry, defend the pawn this way. What then? I can defend it, and then I can make a straight off, and I can put my light square bishop here. If we trade, if it's my knight versus their dark square bishop, I mean they're just running out for this, right? Can I cover this square? then I have to do like this to cover here and just gonna like run my king. Okay, at least I know this pawn is gonna be weak in that case. Okay, so what was I looking at? I was looking at this. So I go over to protect, defend everything, and then I come in. What if they take anyway? No, then I just take. I take with my knight. I'm still defending everything else here. And I can then check. If they check, I get another point in there. If they just run out of the way though, I've got nothing. Nothing's hanging with that. This is their only weakness. I can run out of the way. Okay, let's say they don't take this check, which is obviously hanging in the air, but they take here, I check, then I take here. But this is still the problem of hanging their queen running around my side of the board. So it's either here, or here, or here, or here. Nope, not there. Here, I don't want to go there either though. This might be kind of okay. Take, take. And then I come back here, but they've got this move obviously. What do I do in that case? I start pushing my pawns, trying to liquidate the dark squared ones. Yeah, this dark squared bishop is my problem long term, obviously. Take, take. Okay, hang on. What if I take and I jump my knight here, immediately attacking both these pawns? Well, the front one isn't actually attacked, that one is. They can defend it. And I cry. That's basically all I can do. I can put the dark square bishop here and just keep everything safe. I can't get rid of it except for the knight. I don't want to go here because I don't want to, well, I guess this isn't so bad, but I do kind of want to have a slightly more active light square bishop. Can I win this battle? Kind of not. Depends how many moves they put in between. Take, 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 check. Check, 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 trump the knight over. They take, and my light square bishop can't take this pawn, only my king can. White is only playing for a draw, yeah? And playing hard at it. I have to work really hard to get it. Yeah. I didn't like this queen d4 move. I like it even less at this point in the game. I can also take, go back here. I can go back here. Where this pawn is hanging as soon as I move my bishop. My bishop's not defending it. My king's also not involved. Damn it, you king, you on the h2 square. I do not like. So my mistake obviously is going so, you know, oh, I'm covering all the squares, but then I don't think about where black's going to put their queen because they can't put it where I was covering, obviously. I don't know, can this be held? I mean, if it can be held, then I have to just go for it, I guess. Take here, here. This pawn drops, unfortunately, though. And I'm not double attacking anything. So what if I just do this? Just queen up. Nope. Queen up drops. Well, then I can push my... They take there. No, it's no good, is it? So queen c2, queen e1, queen e2. Queen e2 feels really silly. My dark square bishop... my light square bishop finally has some scope, but now it doesn't. queen c2, then they can come into e3. Then I jump my knight over, attacking e3, threatening the fork, which may or may not be good. Many of these situations, then my king ends up in the middle, just keeping 2 pawns safe, keeping the 2 pawns covered. So, what was I thinking about now? What was I looking at? I was going here. I was going here. Is this what I was doing? Kind of blanking about what I was thinking. They're coming down with their pawns. Obviously I can still take it, so safe for a bit, but not forever. I got this, but I don't really want to give them the option. Here. Take. Man, if I could make take work, I mean, I would do it. On this side, if I take and I go here, they can start moving their king, right? They don't have to. They don't have to take immediately. If they push immediately, I just jump back. I'm covering this again. I can still take this pawn. Maybe they come defend the pawn with their bishop. They can't because I'll take it. Okay, so you can't push immediately. I take, jump my knight in. You take my up. Yeah, so you take my knight, and then we've just got like these pawns staring at each other. Except you've got a passed pawn that my king isn't in time, right? I need one move to at least get into the in range. And then your dark square bishop might be able to enter. So take here. If you take immediately, I can come and get this pawn at least. Take, so I can save one of them, not both, probably. Let's count it. Take, takes, jumps. Immediate take, I take back. First move out, not in time. Here, you go down, I take, you take. Can't save my pawn. I can't take any of these pawns. I can defend this pawn, but it doesn't help. Oh, this is terrible. I mean, I can like do this and threaten the check, but if I'm gonna check, does it really help? Trying to think of something. Finding nothing. I mean, I can play for tricks. I can go here and there, and if they take, and I take back with the pawn and they win it, then I skewer their queen, but I doubt Mori would fall for something that silly. Queen c2, queen e3, just entering a little bit more. Or maybe bishop h6. Coming around to help the queen. Goodness. Yeah, these dark squares are also going to be kind of a problem. I think I'm just busted, eh? Probably just busted. So I'm just thinking now, if I queen here and I'm trying to do something fancy and they just come out with their dark square bishop, they can go here, they can check me. I guess I can walk out of the way, but And then I have to stay with my queen here. But I guess this is the best hand. Alright, time to move. Okay. Many times when you take too long on one move, you end up blundering immediately. So let's just check if I completely blundered. My e4 pawn is still protected and super isolated, super lonely, on an island by itself, crying softly in the dark. Black has no checks that make any sense. Black has, in terms of their queen, any infiltration squares. They've got the e3 square, dark square, I can't cover it. I can jump my knight up, but then they can take, and we're crying. If I jump my knight up and they take, there's nothing. I can make a check, but I don't think it really matters. It's no good. So I need my bishop to help defend the pawn before I jump my knight. And I also looked at something there which looked like I might be completely screwed. The queen's going here. But this is, I'm at least covering this, right? And then here, and if you take back, that doesn't help much. Black's going to be the one playing for a win though, right? So if they get my king in this position, if they get their queen there, they can take my pawn if I move around, alright? But if they're further away, I might be able to just kind of move up and down. They can check me and they can run away and take a pawn, but they can't mate me just yet. As long as they're forever imprisoned. Ah, here it comes, the dark square bishop. They're gonna force a trade here, I guess. So I was looking at this move, but they just jump in here and I'm screwed, so options are fairly limited. If I jump in immediately, I do have some kind of sneaky somethings, but it doesn't really matter that much. They're just coming to force a trade, basically. And then I can't defend these pawns anymore. Double attacking this. At least I can do this to stop them from getting this check in, right? They can come in here. Doesn't quite matter just yet. I'm still covering. They can bring their dark square bishop and check. That doesn't quite matter either. So I think I have to do this just to stop this immediate queen trade. Just try and make things a bit more complicated. Make white work a bit harder for their potential win. And there's ideas here, right? Take, sack the bishop, and then just like check the king in every direction. Try and get a perpetual. Unfortunately, we've kind of come to the point of the game where the perpetual might be the only way to go. I do want to play the knight back, but I need my king up one move first. And frankly, after that, I don't know what else. My knight can't really go anywhere. I don't want to play this because I give them the f4 square. That's basically just a fancy way of resigning, I think, because I'm completely screwed there. Only real move I have here is this. Also, if they take and I take back, I also have at least got some checks there, which might be useful. Check and check. Yeah, I'll be able to take this pawn. I doubt I'll be able to mate them, but you never know. You never know. The one nice thing about the knight jump here is also that it covers the e3 square, so... Well, I mean, if they go here, they've still got this square, and I unfortunately can only stop it with the knight jump back, which is unfortunate to say the least. No one's excited about that move. And this pawn is gonna drop. Maybe I need to try and get a trade off here. I can defend the one pawn. This pawn can't be taken by the dark square bishop. Down a pawn, knight versus bishop, late endgame. I do not like my chances. Even Transu would be able to guess the correct side here, which is probably better. Oh, Maury. End of the day, was a3 the right move, or should I have just played a4? I mean, the game didn't hinge on it, but it would have made a few differences. So a4 was the move. I'm still so passive. I mean, I'm expecting black to just do this. They just want to force the trade of queens and then come for my backwards pawns. Although I guess in the immediate situation I can put the knight there to protect this and then just like mosey my king over. Knight here, bishop here, king somewhere. Actually, maybe I put the king up here and I try to get my bishop this way so I can cover this way. Oh, but like they're gonna get in here. That's very... This king side needs my king, unfortunately. So knight here and bishop, they have to take care of this whole queen side. Because my king has to loiter around. No! No, don't move your... Alright. Check immediate, you can go in here. Oh no, you can't if you take. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead with this now. I can get here and get one move on the queen, but it means nothing. This move also doesn't do much, but it covers the infiltration square. If they take, I can check once and then I can take back. Take here. I'm not a perpetual, you're a perpetual. I don't think there's any other move for me to consider, but okay, so I have one other move. Instead of that, I can move my king over, but after they infiltrate, I think I'm just screwed. Oh, they're also stopping me from doing my fancy... yeah, this is not ideal, but I think this is the move to play here. I can think all I want, but the position isn't going to improve itself just through magic. So, good thing here, I'm covering this infiltration square. I'm also blocking off the light square bishop from attacking my pawn. So technically I could, for instance, move this here, you know, or do something else. Where else would I move it? Here, I guess. No, that's bad. I can't cut my queen off. So this would be the only move. They can't go anywhere here. We go here with that king then. Yeah, so I mean that's something. That's got to count for something, right? I could also then do this and slowly liquidate my terrible pawns. My dark square pawns, basically. So that they can't hunt them down with the dark square bishop. I'm not going to be done at 8. Excuse me for 1 second. Foot in! I have to just go report the situation. At least I still have that time advantage. 1 second. Get that, be right back. Unmuted in the game. Black's still thinking. Oh, hello. I mean, Black's obviously doing great here, so it's not like them thinking means I'm winning to any degree. My previous line I was thinking about is if they take, I can check first. Maybe they come forward with the king, then I can take again. Force them to take the pawn. I can take this pawn. And then maybe they run away somewhere, and then I can keep on checking, hoping that I can find a way to make things work. So ideally I would love to have this bishop get the c4 check in, but the queen is unfortunately, if they take, I go here, check here, I can't do this because then they just take. Oh no, actually yeah. So this is one of those fun patterns, but I don't have the right pieces surrounding it. So take, check, oh fuck, sorry, take, check, in, take, check. Anyway, they have to take with their queen, and I get a check from the back. But unfortunately the king can go both these squares, so it means nothing. Very unfortunate, because that would have been really cool. That would have been a super good way to get a check in. Obviously with the king here, I can't get a check here unfortunately. I can trade off, but that's tears. I can't defend my backwards dark squared pawnsies. Alright, we're already almost 2 hours in. So if you're still watching, if you're out there, people who don't know, Maury is going to join me on stream after the game briefly just to look through it. Actually, I'm kind of running out of time. I have to go join dinner, but I at least want to just have a short chat with him about the game because we discussed it before and it sounded like a really fun idea. So after the game is finished, win or lose or draw, I will suck up my feelings because it's currently looking like I'm going to be the one losing. And we're going to have a quick chat with Maury, which will be quite fun. If they take, I don't want to take back immediately because it also doesn't help me much. I guess this is the trick I was seeing a few moves and many minutes ago, is if they take, I take, and they take, then haha, your queen is skewered to your king, because it's still, at that point it was on g8, but it's still in the light square diagonal, so that works. But, yeah, not there right now. Unfortunately, the king is also holding onto the pawn, so I don't have my fancy sack ideas, which might give me perpetuals around the king. And my time advantage is dare I say it, kind of irrelevant still. I don't think 6 minutes is too low. Black still definitely has time, and I'm a little bit nervous, honestly. Any move they make, I'm a little bit nervous. If we're playing waiting moves, if they're just gonna go loiter, like they don't really have a good waiting move to be honest, but say this pawn was here and they just decide to push it up, I guess I'm bringing in my king, g2, just cover the square for my king as well, because then actually I could trade at a point if that feels like the right thing to do. Although with this backward situation, I don't know if it would ever be the right thing to do. I think black is basically just trying to figure out, after they take and I check or take back first, where do they run the king? Is it still going to be safe? The other thing that's really nice about this is this pawn is weak, so if they go back, for instance, there, I can take with check. Here I can't though, because they'd be able to run their bishop. I'd be here, the king would be here, they'd run their bishop back. I would have lost a pawn, I lost a piece, and kind of that would be it. Their queen would also be facing on me, so not good. So yeah, depending on what they do, but I'm thinking, I mean, taking is obviously the natural move. They can try and like give my king a little tickle, but I think that doesn't really matter. I want to play king g2 anyway. What else can they do? I mean, I feel like it's gonna have to be a take. I don't think they have any other big moves. They can go here, for instance. Um, does that matter? I mean, they're there defending all the time anyway. If they go back this way, maybe I go over here. I could potentially get a check in there. If they take, I still have my little skewer threat, although, I mean, that's playing for tricks. But I do see him to have put Mori. Okay, maybe Mori's just gone to get some tea. I bought these mugs recently, by the way, just for our time here on holiday. Because I wanted a nice, kind of, just easy to identify mug. So we bought some poo mugs. Oh, they're double attacking my backwards pawn. Okay. I saw an idea and I immediately disqualified it. Like here, and then they take, and I do this, and at least I can save one of them. But they can still take because these two are x-raying each other, so it doesn't work. If I push and they take, this doesn't help me either because unfortunately I don't want to give this check away, so I would have to just kind of like go here and cry. Ah, man. Okay. What do I do in this position? If I move my bishop, they're still gonna do this very unfortunate check. I'd have one free jump. My knight can't get the bishop there though. So what would I do with my free jump? I can take here, but then I just, connecting some more of their pawns. My free jump is pointless. Cry about it. Yeah, that's a good move. I can go back, and then they can go here, and then we can agree to cry about it. Then I can check at least. That might give me something to play with. Man, so I go back, they go here. I can check. King runs away. Um, hmm. I mean, I think that's the only move I have here, really. If I give up the pawn in any way, they're still... I mean, they can take with their queen as well, right? And just immediately pin my queen to my king. I think I have to go back. And then they can infiltrate. And then... what? I can't cover this square. I can go here, and then I would attack that. Okay. Knight jumps be tricky. What about this? Huh? My pawn is still protected. I'm blocking off the file. Oh, you get this check though, which I don't like. Ooh, but the knight defends it. That's pretty good. I'm also hitting your bishop. So if you take my pawn, I can take your bishop. Yo. And all the while, the clock is ticking. Also starting to get a little bit hungry now. 8:03 in the evening. Yo, I don't know. I guess, yeah, it's something just of a bit of a habit, but in the holidays, the sleep cycle just goes later and later. Just not going to bed at any reasonable time. You're getting to like 11:30, you're like, oh, we should still maybe, and like, hang on, it's 11:30, maybe we should go to bed at some point. And it's past 12, and it's like, wait, I was still kind of busy doing... And it's not just me. It's even grandmother. My gran-in-law, the one that's 92 years old. Oh, I never said the point about the blue zones and she's 92 years old. She drinks an incredible amount of green tea. And green tea apparently um, has a property which lengthens something about your cells, because every time your cells divide, something in them gets like a little bit shorter or something, and it lengthens that, so your body can kind of rejuvenate itself a little bit longer with whatever it is that's in green tea. Oh, they take anyway. I didn't even see that. I did not even see that. I can take, then they take here. I can check first. Then they have to take there, I guess. Then I take here. Then this is hanging. Take, I'll get a check there. But will I get sufficient checks on the other sides of the board? Eventually, I think black's going to be able to run their king somewhere. I can't check it anymore. So I can take and let them take my bishop here, which is dangerous to say the least. Or I can check first and then take my bishop there. Also dangerous, but slightly less, I feel. I don't know, the queen's here or here, which one's more dangerous? Here I feel a little bit worried about the access they have on the file. Oh, I just had massive deja vu, like I've seen this position before. Is there any way I can try and hit them so they can't defend everything? I still have this move, which hits the queen. To keep contact with the dark square bishop, they have to stay here, go here they can't, go there they can. I would get a check with my queen potentially. Might be good. If I go here, they also get a check here. I could go sideways. They could force me to trade. Although maybe I can check. No, not really. Here, mate. Cry. Alright, so it's here, or it's here, or it's here. None of the moves are looking great, unfortunately. Everything is looking pretty bad. I do know that after that I'd get at least one check in, but I'll get off the file that gives me the main check, so it doesn't really help me that much. Ach, the diagonal, what am I saying? So I take here, they take, I can check, I can take here, I can check here, oh, goodness, the words. I can check all of these, and if they come closer I'll get a little jump, but I don't know if that really matters. Oh man, it's a good find. Good find. This at least keeps things complicated. Here they check. I have only one move, what am I going to do? I expect them to come back here, threatening the mate situation. They could also check me here, I guess, but at that point I'd be able to jump away. And then they can go there anyway. Oh, that'd be bad. In that case, maybe I'll go here then. Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep things a bit complicated. If I just trade off, I think I'm pretty much losing, so do something with a little bit of a, just a something, you know? Just a little something. Great find by them taking the pawn anyway. I thought that I'd kept it safe, but my queen is overworked. I can't protect the pawn and protect. Yeah, they do check. I have only one move. Now what? I expected bishop d4, threatening. Oh, not threatening mate, because my knight is also covering that square actually. From my side, I feel a check might be in order. I mean, they're gonna want to move this guy. They could put it there, but that's hanging it anyway. They can take the pawn, that would still hang it. And actually these guys are all defending each other, that's pretty great. Pretty great actually. Although my bishop again in that case would be overworked because it's defending the knight and the pawn, so I mean they could take as an example, and I go here and they move their king somewhere and then I take, and then they take my pawn. And my bishop can't defend everything. My queen is no longer on the second file defending there, so okay, they do go back, they do threaten, not mate like I originally thought. So I get a move now. I get to actually do something. But what do I do? I like the idea of checking. Goodness me. Yeah, I mean if I take, they just take back with their queen again. Then I'm again just down a million pawns. I can check. Queen, king's gonna move somewhere. I can check here, doesn't really help. And there's so many potential nice jumps here, but I can't think of that queen to undefend the... I can do this, you know, with the idea of here and here, but then again this man would just be a goner. My queen check doesn't really do that much. Maybe I just go for broke. So this is the only square that's mate, right? This isn't mate, this is just an inconvenience. So if I check with my queen and they run their king up in either direction, I can get in to the G something something square, right? The G8 square, and that might give me a way to play for some complications again. They can check me, but they need to, basically they need to take this pawn. So here they move, here they take, and I start checking like crazy, just checking galores. Obviously I can't check here. I'm so losing! I am so losing here. But I think that's my only kind of chance, is just going for broke with the queen check. I mean I can check here as well. Same idea, just if they go here they can push me with the pawn, which might be a bit scary. Doesn't really matter though, I can take. They can check me around, but I don't know. I guess actually no. Rephrase. Because in that case they'll maybe eventually be able to get a check in here when they're also attacking my pawn from the other side, and then I'll be in some serious trouble. So it is going to have to be a check on a2. If they do this, I mean it's pinned, right? So what do I do in that case? It's not good that it's pinned, it's problematic. Take. Yeah. I maybe just come back. Let you take it. I'm coming for the check again. You go here or here. Take. You take with the pawn. You take with the queen. You've got double pawns here. If I can double up black's pawns, that might still give me a way to play for something, because otherwise I am screwed. Okay, so basically these are the only moves I think worth considering. Taking... I mean, it takes care of the imbalance that's a problem, but they are currently up 2 pawns anyway, so if I take here, I have to be able to win some more pawns, which is difficult, to say the least. Here, they go and check, they pick up my other pawn maybe. Check. I don't think so, my king is too open, the queen is too active. This was the problem with them pushing, taking, checking me there. My king has to go someone and then they take this way. Threatening mate. And what do? I've got some checks, but I don't think it'll be enough. For that move I need to take here first, but then they can obviously, well no, they won't take, they would take back here. So in that case here, just nothing. Then I come back. And we all agree to sing Kumbaya. Then I go in. Then my bishop is hanging anytime I don't get a check. Ugh, this is disgusting. I think I might have to take the star square bishop, even though I'm not excited about the idea. Yeah. Okay, and no, it doesn't hang my queen. My queen is multiple times protected. Alright, I can get one of these checks in, which might be good at this point, given that the situation is dire. I don't want to do this, because then we just trade. Black's up 2 pawns. Oh, let's see. If I do this, trade with a check, they probably don't push. They probably just move the king up. If I put my thing here, no, because they can come around and come in and just kind of take my king is the furthest it could possibly be from being useful. Somehow. So this has to be a check here or a check here. Or I have to kind of like wiggle my way around to check here. Or check here and then this. Basically just don't trade queens, that's the main point. This pawn is weak, this pawn is weak. They can attack that one from the front, they can attack this one from the side. I can move my king in at least and go up and down, so that should be okay. So I want to keep my queen on this side for the check then. But checking here gives me almost very little anyway, because I just end up having to move back to defend my bishop. Here, they come down. I guess it depends where they run to. Go over. I can't get this check in. Yo. Nothing ideal in this situation. If I check here and then run away, I basically just have to come back because of the pawn anyway. This pawn is constantly hanging. So here, or here, and then back here maybe. I like this more. We're going with this. I could also just give black a move and just king g2, which has been a dream since entering the endgame-ish situation. Just getting it back closer to the f-file, although all of that is gone. So just giving it a bit of a chance to run into the game. My king just needs like a bit of a run up. Yeah, it just needs to get just a little bit closer. If they block, I can't take. I just realized because my queen and my king are on light squares. Oh my goodness. Oh, I did not consider that. That is disgusting. Oh, I didn't. So like, yeah, basically if they do this and I take, then this is GD. Boom. Call an ambulance for me. So now when they push, I can't take the pawn anyway. I just have to run my queen somewhere. I am going here. This was the original plan. If they take, best to cry about it, I guess. Oh man, I am regretting this move big time right now, realizing that my king's still on a light square. Although I was going to play king g2 anyway, so it would still be on a light square. Oh man. I think I know why black is taking so much time. They're probably just thinking, what in the world is white doing? Okay, yeah, can't take. The other option I can do is just to completely pacify myself and cry in the corner. Bishop b1, it doesn't feel like a good idea. We're not going to do it. All my moves are bad at this point, so we're just going to try and put a bit of pressure on black with the time. It's not going to work. Anyway. So, I mean, if they take here and they can just like cover up. Big whoop. Take, they take back, I can check, the king runs here, nothing. So this check is kind of the only thing that feels like it makes any sense in this situation. Then they go there, and I still have nothing. This I kind of like. Obviously we got to be careful, they can push with the thing now. I can get a check this way, they can run away, and then I can move my light square bishop here. And then I can oppose here, but then their queen can basically force a trade, and if my king isn't super close, it's just endgame anyway. The endgame. Check, this is the obvious line we're looking at. I can take another check in first. I can get the same check in again, but then if they do this, I'm just, you know, here, and they've got two attackers because I'm not doing it right. Take. Doubling up the pawns was good. Get my king in. But it is bizarro difficult to actually get the queens off the board now. I almost checked here. So basically I'm wondering, you know, doubling the pawns is a tiny win for me. They're going to take back with their queen. I can get this check in, which also gives me a check here potentially, which is or isn't useful. Tick. They can check again. We can go in circles for a little while. They can eventually check here maybe to take the backwards pawn. My queen will be way out of line here. I can't take, that's stupid. Getting the check here first just gives their king more chance to run up, which again means absolutely nothing. I can come here, but then because they've got the queen, it just doesn't work, right? If the king had to take, I could come in behind, and that might be good, but it's nothing. Yeah, I mean, everything looks kind of losing. I'm going to go for the doubled pawns endgame and see if that's possible. I'm expecting them to just block and be like, well, what are you going to do? That's a good question. What am I going to do? Crying is definitely on the cards. I don't want to give them this check and then their queen comes in here, because I have to basically take, and then it's another queen. So I think my best bet is to hope that we trade off with them having these doubled pawns, and I just run my king up. I'm not even going to think about it. I run my king up this way. Yeah, because I have to get off the diagonal. I can get a check in now. So this is what I just looked at. I can get a check in now. Not on this, because then I can't. Check here. If they come with their king, I can check. They can block me. I can't check again. And this is what I was kind of like, so what do I do? Ideally, I want to take their pawns, right? But I can't. So here, and then cry about it. I don't think it's worth it. I think they're going to run their king up anyway, and if they do, I can actually get a different check in maybe. Not there, obviously. They can check me here and take my other pawn. But it's actually not so bad, because if I can take this... No, it is bad. It's all absolutely terrible. Here. I can't go here because it's mate. That would be a shame. So here and then back. And then they move like, oh, everything is just absolutely disgusting. I have to put my king here to avoid checks. which is not worth it. What if I just do this? Oh, this might actually be a way to... I mean, they've got a pass on that side though. I'm screwed. They're up 3 pawns in this case, right? I don't even have to... They don't even have to do anything. They can just slowly move up. Ah, okay. We are very lost. It was a fun game though. Check. There's no way I can get a passed pawn out of any of my incredibly bad positioning, can I? Check here, go up. Maybe move my king then? Just 1 over. They can check me up. They can push. This would be a lost pawn, but maybe I do this just to cover this diagonal first. Yo, we are reaching. We are reaching, guys. We are absolutely reaching. I could also... No, I can't. If I check on b6, then they just put their queen in front of it and go like, what up? Alright, so I wait for them to do this, and then I play king g2, king g1. And we survive for another pawn move, basically. Tough stuff. Very tough stuff. And doubling up the middle pawns makes it feel like I might have something, but I obviously have absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna say maybe we can aim for 9. Maybe I should just resign so me and Maury can chat and I can eat dinner at 9. And resign soon. And finish before and join dinner at 9. Is 9 good? Yeah, that is the king move we expected. And there is very little to it. We just want to move our king over before we do anything else. Yes, they can check us here, but I don't think it really matters that much. Here, 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 they would never do a perpetual. So I expect that they would, even if they take the check, after that just kind of do something else. Oh, they do take the check. Interesting. I'm gonna... Oh, okay, I already moved, so I gotta do it. Fair enough. Okay, they can just check here. That's what I just saw. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alright, and I'm down 2 pawns. So I think it's time to resign and have a chat with Maury. Let's resign. GG. Awesome fun game. GG. Fun, fun. Let's have a quick chat. Then I have to go to dinner. Finish before 9. Alright, let's just go in it. 19 concurrent players. Man, you guys... Oh shit, be right back was over my face the entire time. You guys just really like looking at me lose. Is that how so many of you here are joining the stream? I appreciate it. Even in a loss. Even in you enjoying with a little Schadenfreude. Or maybe you're here because you want to chat with Maury quickly. Okay, so hang on, don't go anywhere. I just gotta get Maury on the chatsies. If I jump this out, do you guys still see the board? You do. Alright, hang on 1 second. Let me just quickly get stuff sorted here. Yes. 1 sec, I'll send you the details. Let's go. OBS Ninja. Oh, very cool. Okay. I'm so sad to lose, but I'm so happy so many of you came around to see me get crushed. It's chess, it's all good. Of course, we're playing this for fun. If you're not having fun, if you can't take a loss, you know, just you gotta be able to take a loss, guys. Otherwise, what's the point of enjoying yourself? Oh, Morris, you're already in the chat. Hey, man. Horse down under. Very nice. I'm gonna send you the login for the room in 1 second. Let me just set it up. Okay. And I'm gonna send it to you here. So let me just double check that yep, it's still open. That's fantastic. Here we go. Password is There we go. All right, so we're gonna get Mori on the stream in a second. Let me just see if they can get on properly, and we'll have a quick chat. Enable that, mute that, allow. All right, Maurice, if you saw, I sent you the details in Slack. So get yourself on here quick. Let's have a quick chat. I'm not saying I lost to give Maury like a reason to want to come chat to me for stream content, but it's a bonus, right? There's a little bit of a silver lining to the crushing. Death metal retracting a message. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I'm assuming it was a beautiful message. You decided just not to share it. Thank you everyone for, wow, quite a lot of chats during the time. I really appreciate it. I will read obviously everything later. I'll also go read on Lichess. Right, here we go. Let me see if I can drop you in. Okay, just here quickly. Can you hear me? On the
Hello.
Perfect. Okay, 1 second. I just gotta put you inside. I'm gonna mute you on this side and we'll chat in the other side. Okay, mute you here. Copy solo link. Just gonna set up brief little something. Nope, that's me. Let's get this sorted out and make it live. There we go. Okay, I think you're on. Can you still hear me? You can't hear me. Hang on, I have to unmute here. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. I can hear you, and I don't think there's any echo. You're on the stream, so just don't put the sound of the stream on because it's going to cause echoes on your side.
Yeah, actually. But I have to look at I have to watch the stream, right, to see what
you can watch
you're
obviously,
sharing.
so we can chat, but just don't put the sound on because it's going to make an echo. All right.
Yeah, of course.
Actually,
Could you?
actually, do you want to? Yeah. Okay. Let's just do that. And first off, obviously, you're not in the middle of your camera. I'm just going to put you in the middle again. I think I. No. Just wait. Stop moving so I can put you in the middle. All right. Oh shit.
That I will try to place myself
Very nice.
comfortably
Yeah.
somehow,
It's 2 centimeters to
that.
the left, a little bit up, a little bit down. All right. We're in. We're both in. Everyone, this is Mori. Congratulations on a really nice game, by the way. I really enjoyed it. I don't exactly know what to do against the kid. I was hoping you played something else. It didn't work out so great, but let's get into it quickly. I don't have forever,
Okay.
but is there a specific place in the game you'd like to jump to? I'm not going to open up the analysis board, by the way. I don't want to know what the engine says. I'm just looking at the board itself.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit
Perfect.
about
Yeah,
the
maybe
opening?
then we. Yeah. Okay. So I was. Well, I would say I was not really preparing a lot.
Okay.
But I saw because I saw that you started playing all sorts of things, right? So you started playing knight f3 or e5, e4 even. So I didn't.
Yeah.
But I figured that if you start with knight f3, we would still end up in some kind of Catalan structure.
You looked
because
at
that's
the
what you
recent
play
Blitz
quite
games.
often.
Yeah. So you were talking about knight f3 on
I
move
was
1?
looking a bit whenever. So I figured if you move up till, I don't know, move 5 or 6 or something like that.
Sure. So maybe after move 5, you've got your d6 pawn up. You've finished your kind of King's Indian setup.
Yeah, and I figured that we would somehow end up in such a position through a different move order, but just because even if you start with knight f3, you would usually go g3 at some point. So that was the position I was looking at. So here I was still in book.
Castle. So you decided to play knight c6 as well. Was this a specific one that you had planned for?
Yes. So for the next few moves, I was still in book.
Okay, very nice.
So I think
Did you expect me to?
c6, then you push.
Did you just expect d5 or e4 on move 8?
Let's go to move 8.
Did you expect me to kick your knight or to play e4 and trade the middle pawn?
here, well, okay, so yeah, so I was looking at both of these. So either this one that we played, or that you played e5 immediately. This one, no, that e5 is not possible. One move or two moves earlier, it's not possible yet. E4, right? But
yeah,
here. So if you had gone, if you had gone d5 one move earlier, I would have played knight a5, and I think my sources say that this is a very good position for black, but I would not know how to play for an advantage, but I knew that this is still a fine position, or that would be a good position. With this one, what we played in the game. So what we played in the game, I was in book with knight b8 still. So knight b8 was something that I knew already.
Swinging to c5, right? At some point.
Yes. Okay. That would be... but I knew that also for... If we have e4 in and e5, then this is not really good anymore. But I don't know why. Okay, so it's just... So this is still preparation.
Yeah. I was unsure if I had to play a3 or a4 against your a5, by the way. I couldn't figure out which one I prefer, so I went for the least committal one. I didn't really know which one would be
and this was when I was out of book.
Okay, so we're both just kind of playing chess at this point then, I guess.
Yes, after your next move.
a3. So actually, after... Oh, I think eventually I regretted a3 because you got a4 in. After you played move 13, knight fd7, right? So you're preparing to open up with f5, classic King's Indian break. I was unsure if I should play g6 maybe, but I had already prepared the line where I jump my knight into e6, even if I lose a pawn. Because I remember this line from some kind of preparation, but I don't actually know what I'm supposed to do afterwards. So I don't know if you have played against someone who like sacked their d-pawn to open up the file slightly, but it felt a lot more like high potential when I played it versus how it turned out later on.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played against anyone so much with kids Indian defense, right? So I don't really have experience.
What to say?
And so here, I mean, I think here in this position, I was not very happy with my play. So with the way I placed these knights, because they are now stuck. Right? So here I am not really able. So I will have problems developing my bishop.
Oh, your light square bishop.
On the other hand, yes. On the other hand, I felt like when you played rook ad1 next, that I felt like this cannot be the correct file for the rook somehow.
I mean, I thought there was definitely a way that I could open it up actually. Like have this pressure. So I don't know. I was thinking about rook e1, but afterwards I was like, oh guys, rook ad1, great move. I think this is a winner. So you don't think that was very good, yeah? Yeah, I was very confident with that originally.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, also it turned out not to be so bad, because you end up with your knight on e6 at some point, and then now your rook is opposite my queen and everything's opening up, so there was some danger, at least. Yeah.
I guess so, but yeah, I also was looking at like knight jump to b5 maybe to press the pawns afterwards to kind of help, but none of this happened. So you did press f5, and I was calculating, f4, I don't know, f4, I'm not liking f4, and then you played f4, and I was like, oh no, and I see there's also f3 even, so I was like, oh no, f3 won't be great either, but you ended up taking my dark square bishop, so I don't know. You didn't. I expected you to jump your knight out of the way instead of taking my dark square bishop. So this was the first move I was like, wait, what? I didn't quite see it. After here. And then take again. You already wanted to... Oh, say, please.
This wins me a crucial pawn, I think. I think this wins me a crucial pawn at the end. So
maybe this is my miss on the preparation, thinking that I sack one pawn but something, and then you found a way to get another pawn back in this way, right? This intermezzo.
Yeah. Yes, but here, I think here there was an interesting. I think here I had a long think,
You
right?
did.
Not
Yeah,
on this one, but now you take the
I take,
pawn,
yeah,
of
I take,
course.
and then you were thinking for a long time, take the rook or take the pawn or something.
Exactly. And I felt a bit more comfortable with a pair of rooks off the board, but I had to make sure that there's no strange. Like if I take the rook and now you don't have to take back necessarily, you can also
Queen
take the
first.
bishop, make a queen,
I didn't even consider it, but yeah, I
and
see
then
what
I
you mean
take your
here.
queen, then
Queen,
I take
queen
your queen.
here.
I mean, I will get an exchange for a pawn, I think. So that's why I was happy to do it.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that. I wasn't going to sack my queen to get another queen to lose that queen anyway. I wanted to keep queens on anyway, so yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
gonna happen. How about my c5 move? At least seemed to give you a little bit of a think. You had, I think, probably your longest think on this move. Yeah.
Yes. Let's go to that position
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that was really unpleasant for me.
Yeah, here I thought I had you, to be honest, but yeah, and I thought bishop c6 afterwards wasn't ideal. I thought you had to play bishop e6, but I just ended up not really having much.
No, because I always have the queen b6 check
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is for me a way to get off that file, and yeah, then I can basically think again. So that was how far I went.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have played queen d1, d2 then, not giving you this check. I mean, my dark squares
Hmm.
are a
Yeah,
problem the whole time. Big
yeah.
concerns. I didn't want to like jump my knight in and you take with your bishop. And if I have to take with my rook, right? Because if I take with my pawn, I can't see your backwards pawn anymore. So I'm just kind of losing
Hmm.
the middle.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, this just gonna, I don't know. You got in with the check. I saw that. King h2 felt necessary but sad. I thought trading the rooks was fine. Oh, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. And then you had queen d4 um, before playing rook f1. You could have just played it directly as well, but you traded the rooks first. When you played queen d4, I was like, oh, this is basically where all my problems start, I think. Or realize. This is all the problems realize
Maybe
around here.
maybe let's go there. Yeah, I mean, I was why. Okay, so why was I more comfortable with this move with rooks off the board, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, here I felt now you cannot exchange queens at all
yeah.
with a pair of rooks on the board, and now the d pawn hidden to my rook by the other d pawn. I felt this is not as good, but with rooks off the board, I mean that would just be a very powerful passer there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I tried hard to think about can I trade, but like, there's just no way. I can't keep my B pawn safe, my A pawn, regretting A4 a lot
Hmm.
again. It's just no good long term.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Okay.
yeah.
There was one position. If you move up a bit, there was one position where I felt you had a nice knight move that you didn't play. If you move, could you move a bit further? And I just want to look and see if you even
I'm just
considered
slowly
that.
scrolling through. I'm guessing it's going to be around move 30 when you ended up taking my pawn anyway, even though I jumped my knight back.
Mhm. I mean, I have to say, I think the stream is a little delayed, so
It is, it is. You might actually be faster
uh,
finding the move on your side, and I'll just open up, to be honest. Sorry.
that's actually
I
better
did have a
point.
few
Yeah.
knight jumps that I considered, but yeah, I thought after 29
Yes.
sorry, 28 king f7, I was
Yes.
like, aha, I got my knight in, that should be good, but yeah.
Yeah. I was very proud of Bishop C1 there. I have to
Ah, yeah.
say,
Yeah, that was a nice one. I mean, the fact that I can't protect it
although I'm
even
not.
if I
Yeah.
break the connection, that's very unfortunate because I thought I can still do protect, but my queen is just can't do everything, right?
Yeah, and I think, but yeah, there I think so. Now you move your knight. I take bishop takes b2, and then and now did you have you considered knight b5 here instead of going back, because knight e2 allows my queen to get in somehow.
I did look at knight b5, but I thought I did look at knight b5. I thought I just hated it because you just jump in with your queen anyway, or you take it and then we trade, and I don't know, there was something about it. I looked at it on the stream. There was a point where I was like, oh, what, knight b5, I can't play that, what am I doing? So you think this might have been a good move to jump instead?
I don't know. I mean, then I think I don't have anything better than taking the knight.
Yeah, so you take, I mean, you could just move your queen. No, you can't really. You can't really move your queen. Well, you can force me to try trade. No, because you need your... Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So you take, and I would what? Take back with my bishop?
Wait. Am I missing something? Yeah, you take back with your bishop, and now you are one move closer to an opposite colored, or well, not one, but one pair of pieces closer to an opposite colored bishop ending.
Yeah. I see that.
I don't know if it's enough, but
yeah, my
when
worry
when I saw that move, I was hating myself.
As soon as you
chance.
trade queens, I lose. So I'm worried that in that position you play like bishop c3 and just block my queen, because all I'm thinking is I need to get in with some checks. If I can find a way to like check your king around, maybe I can, use the light square diagonal that's still open, but yeah.
Okay, now I see what I missed in the game and missed so far. I can always take that a3 pawn at the end if we're doing this. If
this situation is happening,
okay,
a3 is still... it's all round destruction, unfortunately. And then I realized with my checks on the light squares afterwards, like around move 34, 35, if I take back the pawn, you just fork my king and queen. So I didn't even see that when I was checking. But at this point, I think things are already just a little bit too bad. I don't think there's much more there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. It was real fun though. I super enjoyed this game. Alright, now I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go into the analysis board and like check what it says.
Yep.
I'm just kind of curious how far off of theory we went. Okay. Looking at the computer result, we were still roughly equal-ish until rook f8. But then rook f1 was a mistake. Knight d5 was best. Okay. Lesson learned. The other point I want to see is how far down was theory, because I'm wondering at what point we kind of ran out of the mains. Yeah, that's still a thing. Yeah, a5, knight e1, h3. a3 is a move on move 10. I guess people have played it anyway. But I just never had anything better, right? So I was basically, out of the opening, I was white. This isn't called an advantage. +2 is just white, right? I was white and then I was worse. Oh, man. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I was hoping there would be a little bit of something there. Also, the agent says my knight g5 idea is not rid. I should take first. X. Oh, I take once and take knight g5. Okay. All right. Well, I mean that.
Where's that?
So on move 15, where I played knight g5, I have to take the pawn first and then play knight g5. That's better apparently. So 15 exf.
Yes.
And then now you'd probably play gxf, which would be natural, and then I play knight g5. Because then you can't play the f-pawn forward because there's mate on h7. Man, I didn't even see that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh damn. Okay. I mean, you probably would have found it in the game, but yeah, that would be a position we would have to consider again. So in this situation, the other pawn... Okay, wow. Alright, well, lesson learned. Take once and then jump. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I was definitely planning on
f4?
Playing f4 here.
Yeah. Oh wow, maybe I could have...
So I guess I hope I hope I would have seen it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
who knows?
yeah, maybe at this point, wow, would I have looked at it? I'm not even sure if I would have looked at it because I'd already planned to play knight e6 way at the start. Oh my goodness, I might have
Okay.
missed it and
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
just embarrassed us all. Okay. But anyway, didn't turn out that way.
Okay.
Nice game. I really like the way you finished off the end game, by the way. I thought that was really smooth. Trading off, getting the queen d4 moving. That was real nice. All right, I'm gonna go cry into my dinner now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for the game. It was good.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for putting me on the stream.
No worries, man. It's good
And
to have you join a little bit
yeah,
to
have a
chat.
good.
Sorry, I'm still talking a lot because I'm
Yeah.
kind of with the delay. It's a bit tricky, but I appreciate you coming past just to share a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy
And
man. Be
then
safe. I'll see you
have a nice
online again.
evening.
And everyone, please
Yeah, absolutely.
thank Morris for obviously running all the Lone Wolf stuff, basically by himself half the time. So be safe, man. Have a nice evening that side, or day, I guess. Still,
You too.
have a
For
nice
me,
day.
it's day ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye
enjoy
bye.
your day.
Bye bye.
Cool stuff. All right. Yeah, a little love. Oh yeah, a little love for Moritz. I'll drop some as well. Love for Moritz. Moritz, do I spell it like this? Or is it with an O? Ah, you just spoke earlier at the start. Alright everyone, I think that's it. We're just before 9 o'clock. Moritz, there we go. Sorry, I say Moritz, it's slightly wrong. Thanks again for the game. It was super fun. I hate losing, but I still really enjoy playing chess. Even if I lose, I'm going to keep this mate in one on the board for the final moment. A little love for Morris in the chat. Thank you much, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really hope you had a good time. This was a bit of a low tension stream, but I'm glad if you guys enjoyed yourselves. I had a great time, and I will be reading all the chat later. A masterclass in how not to play the Catalan, or the Fianchetto Kid, or whatever the variation turns into be. Yeah, really fun game. See everyone around. All the best for your games if you have finished this yet. And next week we're off to round 6. So yeah, be safe. Ciao, ciao.